Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. I am Gabo the Shaman, and today we are talking about the importance of spiritual practices and what they actually do within your body. This could vary from practice to practice, but generally, we'll talk about what it means generally and what it's doing in our bodies. Before we begin, I have a bunch of stuff to promote. I have my Cosmic Qigong programs. I have my Cosmic Qigong and the Self-Transformation Challenge right there. And in the Transformation Challenge, basically includes Kundalini Yoga, Qigong, and meditations. And this one is just a beginner level Qigong program. So both of them, very powerful though. Very powerful if you put them into practice. If you do the work. So then I'm also a Vedic astrology reader, a Vedic astrologer, and basically in the astrology reading I will give you your own precise exact mantra that you can do that will put yourself in alignment with your soul, basically. So it works within you to clear out your unconscious clutter and make you conscious and make you in alignment with your soul. Okay? So then I am a Vedic astrologer, but I also do birth time rectification. So if you don't know your birth time, then I can help you figure that out. Alright, so then I have a bunch of other stuff to do, like distance energy healing that I do. Distance energy healing, which is very powerful, combines Qigong and Reiki and shamanic healing practices. So anyway guys, so what is the point of spiritual practices? So the point of spiritual practices is to, well, there's a fundamental assumption here that we need to understand. If we don't have this assumption, then it just doesn't work. So basically the assumption is your soul is God. Your soul is infinite. What is your soul? Your soul is your infinite divine essence, that infinite light, infinite bliss, infinite joy, and things like that, unconditional love, things like that. So that's what your soul is. And the reason that we have such a hard time putting it into words is because it's beyond words. It's beyond this existence, this 3-dimensional, 4-dimensional existence. It's infinite. It has infinite dimensions, infinite timelines, and stuff like that. So anyway, you have a soul. Everybody does. And your soul is God, meaning that it's infinite. So whatever idea or concept you have of God, whatever that is, whether that's the Christian God, Hindu gods, Muslim God, whatever God means to you, your soul is God. Your soul is more powerful than God. If it's, because most people think of God as man in the sky, and he's either helping you or he's punishing you, and for most of us it's punishment, but so there's a lot of concepts around what God is. So I want you to know that your soul is God. So that means that you are God. So that means that when you connect to your soul, when you connect to the infinite light of your soul, the infinite part of you, you're actually bringing that Godhood, that infinite divine nature into the world, into existence. And so when you come into alignment with your soul, what you're actually doing is you are dying to your old self. So there's this what we call in shamanism our lower self. The lower self is the human part of us. It's the psychological programming, the psychological programming, the unconscious part of us that is unconscious, meaning not aware, not conscious. And so basically, so we're bringing that part of us into alignment with our soul. So that's what the Qigong practices are all about. So we have this very limited view of the world and this very limited view of our place in the world, how, some people might say the elites are screwing us over, they're doing this to us, they're doing that to us, they have this victim mentality, and so, so basically what I'm saying is that that's keeping you limited. The psychological programming and the certain mindsets, certain beliefs and assumptions about the world is keeping you limited. So what we need to do is bring that lower self into alignment with our soul. And when that happens, it's just amazing, the results that happen. So anyway, guys, so basically what I wanted to say is, so our soul is within our physical body. Without the soul, we would be dead. We would be a corpse. Without the soul, we couldn't do the human things that we do. So really, our human body is a vehicle for the soul to operate in this three-dimensional reality. It's a vehicle for our soul to operate in 3D reality, and so it has built within it. It has energetic components. So energetic meridians. We have the 3 dantians, the lower dantian. We have the middle dantian and the upper dantian. We have the energy centers. We have the meridians. Meridians going throughout our hands, going throughout even in our ears. There's a lot of meridians. So it's really the energy work practices are getting us into alignment with our soul's energy. So there's basically hidden pathways, hidden meridians within our body that only become active. They lie dormant until we do energy work, a certain kind of energy work that stimulates them, which is this stuff. So meridians lie dormant and they become blocked most of our lives. So when people are first starting the energy work, they'll start to notice that they are, the blocks in their hands, like in their arms and all the way down to their hands, are being busted open, and so it can be very very intense, very kind of uncomfortable in a sense, but the more that we allow that energy to flow through us, the more we'll ease into it. So basically we are unlocking certain meridians in our body, and those meridians basically carry energy to, like, they open up energy centers within our body. And so especially with the Cosmic Qigong and the Self-Transformation Challenge, those two are designed from a very specific, very special Taoist tradition that those people were, the practitioners, the monks, were basically called spirit fighters, and they would use their human energy that they would generate from their soul. So they would unlock the power of their soul through doing certain movements and things, and they would actually fight demons with that energy. So they would, go into haunted places, and, they would, some monk or abbot from another monastery would say, "Hey, we need your help. Our temple is being haunted by ghosts and demons and all kinds of stuff," and the Taoist monks would go and get rid of the demons. So they would fight them. They would basically, what we're doing is what they did is they used that power. They unlocked and unleashed that power from within them, and they were able to go, facing different directions. They were able to, it's, when you face different directions, it's almost like you're appearing and disappearing in the eyes of a ghost or a demon. So, so you could appear in front of them, behind them, to their right, to their left, and just be doing all this stuff. So that gets them to leave immediately. So, so yeah. So the body is the vehicle for the soul. So whenever we open up our energetic body, our energetic meridians, we are actually coming into alignment with our soul. We have no choice but to come into alignment with our soul. But the thing is, so especially in the practices that I teach, there's this thing called the Emperor's Bodyguard, or the lightning energy of the heart center. So remember, I said your soul is infinite light. So you have this tiny speck of infinite light within you, within your physical body. And that infinite light, that part of your soul basically is encased by a protective energy that surrounds it and protects it. And that's called the lightning energy of the heart center, or the Shi, XI, if you want to look into it. Shi energy. So that lightning energy is infinite, and basically what it does is, whenever the soul in a human body encounters something hard, like a trauma, like being raped, or some kind of a horrible trauma that we can't deal with, we can't process in the moment, or going to war or something like that. You can't be in your feelings. You can't be in your feelings when you're out on the battlefield. That'll get you killed. So you have to be alert. You have to be, ready, things like that. And so basically what the lightning energy does is it traps all of these traumatic and, horrific events, and it basically safeguards the soul from those things, from experiencing those things. But the thing is, most people go through life and they just build up their trauma. So their trauma is building up every, like it, like if it's not immediately dealt with, or like soon after the event, that just builds up and builds up and builds up. And so this is what causes ill health. Now it's interesting. So if you have enough trauma in your if you're in your lightning center of your heart, that's energy. So it takes energy to prevent the soul from experiencing that trauma and dealing with it, and it takes energy for the soul to protect the soul. Basically, it takes energy. So when we have a bunch of trauma, we have less energy. We have less energy to actually go out and do live life and things like that. So by opening up this heart center energy, we're actually telling our soul, or telling the lightning energy in the heart center, that it's okay, that we're safe. And so what it does is it begins to slowly release those traumas and allow the soul to experience them. So it basically, the soul is here, and those traumas get released, and they get, So this is where we have to become more conscious of our unconscious stuff. So, and really feel, basically what we're doing is we're allowing ourselves to feel the full impact of that trauma, the full impact of that trauma, that hurt, that, whatever it is. Even, it could be resentment, could be whatever. If there was something that's unhealed, then it will be released, and the soul will have to process that. And so that means that when you do this stuff, when you do these things, what happens is you'll begin to have memories from the past. You'll begin to have, really cry a lot and really process those emotions. But if you are someone who constantly pushes your emotions away from yourself, if you don't feel safe feeling any and all of the whole broad range of the human spectrum of emotions, then you're just going to, you're doing the practices which tells the soul that it's okay to now become aware and process those traumas. But if you're someone who naturally pushes those things down and you don't want to deal with them, and you do things like use alcohol, drugs, eating, habitual eating, things like that. If you're you could use sex, drugs, porn, whatever, overeating, things like that. So if you're one of those people who does that to calm yourself and stuff, if you have unhealthy coping mechanisms, then this is not going to work. This is not going to, I shouldn't say that. I would say that it's going to be very difficult for you, but that's okay. It was very difficult for me. But the thing is, once those traumas are processed, once you feel the whole broad range of emotions that go along with that, and you allow yourself to experience it and to process that, then what happens is that lightning energy has less of a load to push away from the soul. So that means that you're freeing up more energy to go into the rest of your body to actually heal yourself and to become healthy, and you can do, that's when, like, when you've processed all your traumas and stuff, that's when you can do things like have the ability to heal with your hands, because all that, you're intending that lightning energy to go and into another person and heal them. And so this is where, special spiritual gifts and abilities come from. It's because people, these monks and things, they have been able to process that stuff that's stuck in the heart center, and they're actually now able to like shoot lightning energy out of their hands and stuff, and fight demons, fight spirits and things like that. So this is the energy of this practice. So this is what this practice is all about. So it's about coming into alignment with your soul and really letting go of all those trapped emotions and things. And it's not like we're letting go of them, it's like we're allowing ourselves to experience them. We're allowing ourselves to feel safe while we're experiencing them. So that's why I created the emotional awareness course, because it gives you some healthy coping mechanisms, so you don't have to turn to alcohol, drugs, sex, porn, whatever your vice is, eating, whatever. So you don't have to turn to those things, and instead you can do healthy things. You can love yourself through those things, through that trauma and through that pain. So so then let's talk about, so we talked about the Qigong exercises and the lightning energy of the heart center. So let's talk about, what does Kundalini Yoga do? So in the Self-Transformation Challenge, I combine Kundalini Yoga with the Qigong that I teach. Now, Kundalini is a different energy than the lightning energy of the heart center. The Qigong uses that energy. The Kundalini sits at the base of your spine, in your, basically your coccyx, and it lies dormant. So this is another energy that lies dormant, and it won't be stimulated to rise up the spine until you do certain exercises. Like, I think, so like the, you could do exercises where you're basically putting your hands on your shoulders and turning side to side. That will help stimulate that movement of the lower back, the lower spine, and what that does is it stimulates the Kundalini to rise up the spine. And so, what is Kundalini? So Kundalini is it is not the life force energy of the universe. If you just search Kundalini on YouTube, you'll find no shortage of people saying Kundalini is the life force energy of the universe. No, the life force energy of the universe is Qi. Kundalini is a uniquely human energy, and it's an energy of maturity. So the 7 chakras are the 7 levels of maturity. So we go from the, so basically we would do Kundalini yoga exercises to get that Kundalini energy stimulated to rise up the spine. So it's going to have to rise from the root chakra. The root chakra is basically the root chakra is all about your fears, so overcoming your fears, and it's all about your physical safety, your physical, like, material safety. So, getting enough food to eat, having a roof over your head, things like that. So, having, getting food, physical safety. So, do you feel like you're in a physically safe environment? Things like that. The sacral chakra. So we go from, like, and this is like baby stuff. So when you first bring a baby into the world, you have to make sure that its material needs are provided for in the root chakra, with the root chakra. The sacral chakra is the child now moving into adolescence, where they want to be with their friends, they want to dance, they want to go, have sex and experience their individuality and create and be creative and a unique individual. So this is the sacral chakra, and that has to do with like it's that kind of thing. So then we go up to the third chakra, which is the solar plexus. And so the solar plexus is about the ego. It's about it's about basically it's about becoming fully individuated. So we have that kind of the root where we were very dependent on our parents for physical safety and survival and things like that. We went to the sacral chakra, which is basically all about fun, play, creativity, things like that. Being an adolescent, learning, it's a little bit more mature. And then we go to the solar plexus. So that is all about becoming fully individuated. The sun, the ego, learning your full identity, your full essence, like it's basically learning about yourself, your identity. And then we go to the heart chakra, which is basically, okay, now that I have my own identity, now I can operate, now I can kind of learn to love others and live, from the heart center. Then we have the throat chakra, which is basically about teaching. So heart chakra is basically interacting with others, like almost like a extended family, treating everybody as extended family, where you're loving everybody and things like that. And then we have the throat chakra, which is basically it's about preaching, it's about teaching, it's about things like that. So yeah, it's about teaching, preaching, things like that. And this is where we will have spiritual teachers on the mountaintops or whatever. And then we have the third eye, which is basically third eye is basically having like basically seeing beyond this physical realm. It's basically having spiritual intuition, like guidance from your higher self. This is where we tap into our higher self. And then we have the crown chakra, which is basically almost the same thing. The third eye is basically having intuition about the spiritual, but the crown chakra is becoming one with the spiritual. So there's a difference there. So anyway, the Kundalini energy is basically, it goes up the spine, and this will allow you to become more mature. So when you do Kundalini yoga, it's very user friendly. The Kundalini yoga is extremely user friendly. You can see me doing it right there. And it's a uniquely human kind of thing. This stuff over here is, it's a little bit more challenging because, it gives you that, you operate with that lightning energy of the heart center, which releases a lot of stuff. But if you can learn to work past that, you will become very powerful. So yeah. But it is a little bit more challenging, whereas Kundalini yoga is not as challenging. It's kind of like, hey, maybe, it kind of gives you suggestions. Maybe you think about this a little bit differently, kind of thing. So anyway, so those being working in sync, working synergistically, that's a great combination. The Kundalini yoga and the Qigong. Now, the other thing is mantra. So the other thing I teach is mantra. So mantra, when we do a mantra to a deity, and you can find your perfect mantra based on your astrological placements if you go book an astrology reading, or if you don't know your birth time, you can go book a birth time rectification. So, so the mantra is geared towards, it's basically Kundalini energy, and basically it goes into the unconscious. When you're doing a mantra to a certain deity that wants to work on your unconscious level, then basically what happens is, so we have, it'll stimulate the Kundalini energy within you as well, but its main job is to go into the unconscious mind, and it basically goes in there and it breaks up the energy, and it like makes you more conscious, aware of your feelings and things like that. So all that stuff that was repressed into the unconscious is now being brought up to conscious awareness. So anyway, guys, so this is pretty much what Kundalini yoga, what mantra does. So, and then too, a lot of people get the wrong impression about working with deities. Now, I am a polytheist. I am a shaman, so that means I am an animist, which means that I believe that everything has consciousness. So, so basically, like, it's when people have this like major hang up about worshiping anything, because they come from Christian religion where worshiping God was basically putting yourself down and kind of, claiming that, kind of in a way saying that God was, that you were lesser than God or inferior to God. But in this is a separate worldview, so this is not that. Whenever we worship a deity, we are worshiping an aspect of ourselves. Remember, our soul is God. Our soul is everything. Our soul is infinite. And so, you'll discover that when you do these practices, you are the universe. You are everything. And so the gods that you see Hindus worshiping and things like that, they are worshiping an aspect of themselves. So you don't need to think about it as being anything outside of you. You can think about it as you worshiping a part of yourself. So that's yeah. So, you know, it's a totally different kind of thing. You know, this is self-empowerment. This is it's really getting out of the victim mentality and realizing that you have infinity within you. You are limitless. You are God. Not in a delusional, look at me, look at how great I am. No, not in that sense at all. You have an infinite divine soul within you. And that part of you is God. So when we come into alignment, when we do these practices and things, we are coming into alignment with our natural God self, with our essence, with our soul. Now, the other thing that I teach people is through the career consultation and the life coaching is whenever you come into alignment with your soul, whenever you start living from your soul, everything will come into alignment. So when you start living from your soul, doing what your soul tells you to do, then you will start getting more prosperous. You will start getting more healthy, so healthier. You will get healthier, wealthier, and happier. So because when we're processing that trauma in the heart center, that takes a lot out of us. It takes, this is, spiritual warrior stuff. So this is not for the lighthearted, not for the faint-hearted. It can be very challenging. But, you just gotta do it. If you want the power, if you want the energy, if you want the health, the wealth, the happiness that comes along with, opening up that heart center, then you just got to do the practices. So this is what I'm offering to you guys. So right now, I have phase 1 of the self-transformation challenge open. Now, when you purchase phase 1 of the self-transformation challenge, you will get this also, or you'll get this also. So you'll get the Cosmic Qigong and the self-transformation challenge. So those are 2 great programs, and I'm making this extremely affordable for you guys. So it's only like $35-$45 a month. It's really not bad. Not bad at all. So anyway, guys, yeah, I think that's about all I have to say for now. So anyway, I am a Vedic astrologer, so if you want a Vedic astrology reading from me, then you can go to vincent.thunderwizard.com. Alright, so vincent.thunderwizard.com. The link is also down below in the description. Birth time rectification. So if you don't know your birth time, I can help you with that. I offer birth time rectifications, and to learn more about those and everything that I have to offer with birth time rectification, you can go to linktree/Gebo the Shaman. Alright, and I also do distance energy healing. So, using that, tapping into that lightning energy of the heart center, basically sending that energy to you. through the distance energy healing process that I do. It combines Qigong, Reiki, and Shamanic ritual. So it's very powerful. Anyway, guys, then I do career consultations and life coaching. So, if you're kind of one of those people who just floats around and lets life pass them by and isn't taking action towards your soul desire, your path, your purpose in this life, if you don't know what that is, then you need to get a career consultation from me. In that career consultation, we will work together to basically come together, and I'll basically lead you on a guided meditation that kind of a short one, but it basically gets you thinking creatively, and it gets you opened up to all the possibilities that life has to offer. And then shortly after that, I'll lead you through a process that gets you to know, or to become aware of what your soul desire is, what your path is, what your purpose in life is. So then we have the the life coaching. So the life coaching is a goal-oriented coaching that is basically, you work with me once a month, twice a month, or weekly, and in that we will, I can teach you things about the Qigong practices and stuff like that, but really I want to help people accomplish their goals and become successful in life. So so that's what the life coaching is geared towards. People have a tendency to stagnate and procrastinate and not live in alignment with their full potential, their full capability. They shortchange themselves, and they're robbing themselves of their own greatness. So my job as a life coach is to push you along. I am pretty hard on my students sometimes. I can be, especially if they're not doing the work, but I want the best for you, and so I won't allow you to settle for mediocre. I want the best for you. So yeah, I will push you from time to time, to do better, to things like that. So yeah, I am a life coach, and one of the rules is, one of the Norse sayings is, those who die in battle go to Valhalla. So meaning that, when you go towards, when you take action towards what your soul wants you to do, regardless of the consequences, regardless of anything that it'll cost, whatever the cost is, if you have to end relationships or whatever, when you do that, when you go and pursue your soul desire fearlessly, then you will the universe has to reward you for that. So even, let's say, if you don't achieve that, and you've spent your whole life pursuing everything that you want to do in life, well, if you don't end up quite achieving what you wanted to achieve, or maybe not the level of success that you wanted, but you were still close, the universe rewards you for that. The universe will reward you for going after your passions and things, what your soul really wants to do. So anyway, guys, yeah, so I do also offer Shamanic Ritual Magic courses, and the Emotional Awareness course. Alright, so that about does it for me. I also have the Cosmic Qigong and the Self-Transformation Challenge right here. So, if you want to experience the energy for yourself, then you can check those out. Go to patreon.com/GabbaTheShaman, and remember, all my links are down below in the description as well. So you can just click the top link, which is linktree/GabbaTheShaman. You'll see a full list of all my services and products, and you can click on which one you want to learn more about. And you'll learn more about it, and maybe you'll purchase. So anyway, I look forward to working with you as a client. And yeah, we will talk to you later. Alrighty guys, have a good day. Peace.